Hello Commanders, welcome to the command table. My name is Matt, and I'm going to be taking you through battles 441 through 445 in the journey on Traplight's Battle Legion. Before we get into that, if you'd please be so kind as to like, subscribe, and if you want notifications when I drop new videos, please hit that notification bell. And if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave those below. Okay, battle 441. Okay, Bandit Brigade. We have a whole lot of mixed up units here. There's dire wolves, there's warhounds, there's righteous defenders, there's a lot of brutes, and there's a whole bunch of archers. It's just, yeah, a whole lot of everything here. So kind of hard to pick something to counter, so we're just going to try and slow everything down and have these draining spirits do most of the work for us. So we're going to use these 3 draining spirits. Everything's within range on this front line for them to just tag right on without having a support unit. So we're just going to let those tag on and start doing their work. Then everything's going to hit these entangling roots, and the archers that would normally be staying way back if there was something to shoot at, since the only thing to shoot at is way the heck down here, they're all going to run forward and get caught in that mess. So everything's going to get caught in the entangling roots. The draining spirits are going to burn it down, and the risen warriors are going to pop up on this side, which is going to suck everything back and allow more time for those draining spirits to do their work. The Ember Fiend that I have in the back here, there's the Power Stone Reach 2 is presently available, which may not be available in future seasons, but you should still be able to have it work because of this wall or fortification. So that Ember Fiend is going to get stuck on the fortification, keeping it back, and that's going to allow it to shoot as things come in range from afar. The Earth Elemental is just meant as a tank to knock back anything that does break through, because I think there are a couple of units that do manage to get there. So let's go ahead and let it run. Again, everything gets slowed, everything gets mashed up into those draining spirits. Then the risen warriors pop up. A few of the warhounds do break through, but not a huge deal. The Ember Fiend and the Earth Elemental can totally handle it. And those draining spirits are still chugging away. And get a little close. One draining spirit does make it to the Earth Elemental, but it's not a huge deal. If you end up having troubles, just kind of realign your draining spirits a little bit here and there, and you may just have to run it a couple of times to see how the RNG plays out. Okay, 442. We did basically the exact same thing, hardly had to change anything at all. I think the only tweak that I had to make was I had to move this draining spirit down so that it would tag on to this, because I think those were too far away. So we've got one plague bearer within range to allow it to move forward. The entangling roots and everything else still the same place. We moved the risen warriors back so that they would be able to handle some of the plague throwers, and that's going to suck everything back this direction. These are all chaos units, so the draining spirits are going to take a little bit longer to get through, but we still have our Ember Fiend, which is going to do that splash burn damage. The barrier monk was rotated in because of the plague throwers. I can't guarantee that all those plague throwers are going to go down before they get in range, which you'll see. So we use the barrier monk to negate their ranged attack, which applies plague and stuns. So we do not like that at all. So the barrier monk should resolve that. Okay, let's go ahead and let it run. Okay, burn damage starting to be applied. Now we've got everything, for the most part, turning back around and chasing after those risen warriors. Most of those plague throwers are gone now, and whatever's left is now in range of the Ember Fiend and the draining spirits. It's just, I think, one or two left right here that are about to die. Okay, there we go. So that's all the plague throwers, and now everything else moves so slow that it's not a problem for that Ember Fiend to burn through. Cannoneer just died from that last draining spirit, and good game. Okay, so that's 442. Let's move on to 443. Okay, sorry to be so repetitive, but we're just gonna keep rolling with what we got. I hardly changed anything except for the positioning on the Draining Spirits. I moved them from the top and bottom a little bit more into the middle so that they'd latch on to the shield bearers. So we've got a couple of catapults, 3 of them, a whole bunch of shield bearers, a paladin, and I think that's everything. I don't know if there's a drummer in there. I don't see one. So again, same concept. The catapults are going to be countered by my barrier monk. The risen warriors are going to pop up and actually take out most of the catapults. You might change the positioning on these risen warriors to move them more in line with where the catapults are. That's something that I would have changed if I could have replayed this. So I would move those up a bit to kind of line up with right where those are so that they take them out faster. The luck that I ran into was that the shield bearers that have the draining spirit ran back, pulling that draining spirit to the catapult. So that's the only difference that I would make, the only change that I would do. So yeah, catapult shots being totally countered. Again, you see Risen Warriors a little too far back, but it worked, so can't really replay it at this point. And just gotta clean through here and we're good. Okay, that's 443. Let's move on to 444. Okay, 444. We have some soul pylons. We have a whole bunch of crows. We've got 2 phoenix units, and we've got a couple of Valkyries. So we've got our assassins here. They're going to pop over and take care of the Valkyries and the soul pylons. This soul pylon down here does get a shot off, so you might consider moving those assassins down just slightly, because they'll still get the Valkyrie before anything matters. You just want to make sure that soul pylon gets dead. And we're finally using the ancient tree. I actually got some shards for it. That was the only unit I didn't have. So it's the ideal choice. I know we've been using crystal spires a lot for the murder of crow units, but the ancient tree is just a beast when it comes to killing crows. So we're going to stack a bunch of bodies in the back here. They're also, plague bearers are also very nice because they move very slowly. So they're all going to remain within range of this tree. So when those crows all pop down, the tree's going to just be able to devour all of them. The tree, I believe, is immune to stun. So the crows are not going to be able to stun the tree, and it'll be able to keep going, unlike the crystal spires. I've got the archers in here just to take care of the phoenix units if they are still up. They'll be able to take care of them from range, and that should account for everything. Let's go ahead and let it play. Okay, there went. Okay, you see that one little soul pylon orb. So again, move those assassins. And just watch all the crows disappear. A lot faster than the crystal spires. If you use the same amount of army points on crystal spires, you'd be able to target 9 total units, but I think the tree can target up to 15. So just way better. And it grabs the crows to where they can't fly back up and get out of range again. All right, 445. Now, this one, I only used 7 army points. It wasn't intentional. I was just trying to get the placement for things figured out, and like, okay, so let's see how this plays out. And it won. So we just went with it. Feel free to add more units. You can if you want to. We've got a whole bunch of arcane archers with a couple of barrier monks, and then just a sea of freezing traps and mine shrooms. So my first thought was the mine shrooms are the biggest threat. Let's just put the plague bearers there, and they're immune to the mine control. They'll just be able to march right through. Once they hit a freezing trap, that will freeze a few of them, but the ones behind will be able to advance forward. And the main deal, the way that I set this up was so that the arcane archers would shoot between my archers, because the closest target that they'll have are the plague bearers. So they'll be shooting kind of in between the archers, which will keep them alive in order to break through the barrier monks and take them out. So again, 7 out of 12 army points used. There goes the freeze. You might consider moving the back plague bearers a little further back. And now we're starting to break through the barrier monks and kill stuff. And even the plague bearers are getting up in their grill. So a few things get hit by mind shrooms, but it's not that big of a deal. And again, 7 out of 12 army points. So add whatever you want to add. Throw in some arcane archers or something. All right, so that takes us through 445. Thank you for watching. Again, please do like and subscribe. Thank you for supporting the channel. And check out thecommandtable.com. We've got a lot of fun stuff that we'll be adding there over the course of the next few weeks. And we will have more content for you in the near future. Thanks for watching.